Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, wake up in the morning to the clear blue sky. Turn up the music when I hop in the ride. The windows down, let the whole world see. Ain't nobody rock it like little old me. I'm the bomb and about to blow up. I'm the bomb and about to blow up.
Good morning. We want to welcome you to the Riverside Weekly. We hope your time with us today is thought-provoking, spiritually challenging, and a life-changing experience. Our discussions and messages can be raw, real, and at times very uncomfortable and even controversial. We highly encourage all of our guests and listeners to take notes, leave comments, and when possible, always share what you hear. Now here are your hosts, Pastors Selo and Pastor Mia.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going, everybody? It's Wednesday morning. Wednesday. This shirt fits me tight.
Maybe it grew. Did it shrink?
Yeah, I think it shrunk. I feel.
Did it now? Nice.
Sorry. Just feels like it's squeezing me. I don't know what it looks like on camera, but I feel super tight.
I mean, I like my shirt and stuff.
All right.
Anyway. Good morning.
Morning. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, okay. Wardrobe malfunction. You had something going on there?
Something.
You're not Britney Spears.
That was actually, what's her name?
Oh, Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson. Sorry.
Okay. So we're moving right along.
Anyway, so today we are talking about something that's really important, I think. And I think you're going to be able to shed a lot of light on the subject because it is actually a topic that you actually brought about, and I think it'll be easy to discuss. But we are going to be talking today about valuing people's time.
Peace out.
No. You need to sit down and address this one because I honestly have to say that
I don't even want to go down this road.
Well, you are an individual who... You value people's time, and so I think that you could give us some insight on being able to value people's time. What is that about?
I'm just laughing because you're always mad at me for being late.
Yes. I mean, you don't have to value my time, but you value other people's time. He's just like, the party's at 4. We'll get there at
4:30, about 4:35. We're good.
Shush, we'll get there.
You're gonna make me unveil all my secrets. That's messed up.
Hey, it has to happen at some time. Let's talk about punctuality.
I can't help it because I'm transparent. So like when you ask me, I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. So now everybody's watching. They're gonna be like, oh, that's why you were at my wedding late. Oh, that's why you came to the reception at this time. Oh, see, I'm just putting myself on blast. You're going to put me on blast. I can feel the tension. Am I sweating? I can feel it.
Am I sweating already? Am I sweating? Oh, God. Oh, gosh.
Okay, well, let's go.
Anyway, all right. So
this is very uncomfortable for me.
Well, I want you to address the issue of valuing people's time. And I'll say this. My pastor always said, you can ask me a question, and that may take 5 minutes, but the answer may be 30 minutes to an hour. So do I have 30 minutes to an hour to answer your question? No, I don't.
Right.
And then if they cry, then they're not valuing his time. They're just like, I needed you to answer all of life's questions. 22 is the answer.
22 is the answer.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You don't know what that comes off?
No, I don't.
Oh, my goodness. You're done. I'm done. Bye. Be back.
What does it come off of?
It's a movie.
I know what movie.
I don't know, and I don't want to get it wrong because my daughter doesn't like it when we don't have things
That's
right.
hilarious.
Anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. It's called something about the universe. I don't remember. Anyway, look, so she's
you're talking about yes. It's somebody's listening. They already got the movie.
Okay, let's focus on the subject though. We're not going to worry about the movie.
Go ahead. It's in the back of my mind.
I know because we're going to quote it wrong, and then our daughter's going to get mad that we quoted it wrong.
Go ahead. You're good. Keep going.
So we are talking about valuing people's time today, and this is a huge, huge opportunity to learn some lessons from because if you don't learn, you are going to waste my time.
That's probably how they feel when they listen to us.
Yeah.
I'm never getting that 20 minutes
Dang it,
back.
that was 20 minutes of my life. I'm never going to get
that back.
All right. Anyway, that's how some people feel when they talk to you. So I just want you to give everybody a couple of pointers to help them not to waste people's time, to value people's times. Listen, I can understand the whole lateness.
Can you?
But if you make me late, you are not my friend. I like to be on time. I don't like to be early. I like to be on time. Early I don't like. Or if you're going to show up 30 minutes to my house when I told you that the party was at 2 and you're going to show up at 1:30, we're not friends. Because I will be working on that project for the party until 1:50.
That's because you don't manage your time.
What? I value my time.
No,
I will use every single minute I have.
No, I said because you didn't manage your time.
Excuse me.
Hey, I'm guilty of the same thing. I was
like, I manage my time. I use every single minute I am given.
So let's keep going.
Okay. So explain to us, oh Yoda, wise and knowledgeable one, how do we value people's time?
That's funny. Well, first of all, I think in order to value people's time, you have to value your own time. Like if we don't value our own time, we're definitely not going to value anybody else's time.
And I think you said once before, we all get the same 24 hours in a day.
We all get the same 24 hours in a day.
Throwing that out there.
We all get the same 24 hours in a day. It's how we use those 24 hours. And then when it really upsets us is when somebody chooses to use their 24 hours and we're not included in it.
Yeah.
Like you don't have time for me. It's not that I don't have time for you. I don't have time for you today. And so we get offended by that.
Yeah.
But I think really to value people's time is to appreciate your own and value your own time. I always say, when I was started doing coaching and training for different folks, I was telling them like, look, if you don't plan your day, if you don't plan your week, if you don't plan your month, if you don't plan your year, if you don't plan your life, then everybody else will.
Yep.
And so you're literally running from one place to the other.
Yep.
You ain't have time for this. You ran out of time for that. You didn't make time for this. And so it's when you talk about valuing people's time, you really have to value your own time first, because if you don't value your own time, then you're not ever going to appreciate everybody else's time. Or you're not going to value the time that they're giving you. So me, like I value people's time. Now, this is where I begin to tell on myself.
Okay, tell us all your secrets. So you're the one. Oh, wise one.
Well, for me, like, for instance, I'm just going to use a wedding reception or a wedding, right? It's not that I don't appreciate people or I don't like people, but if I'm going to a wedding, I'm not going to be there 2 hours before. Like if I know if the ceremony starts at 3, like I don't have to be sitting in the front row. I don't have to sit, a couple of rows back.
You like the back row so you can easily exit.
That's what I'm saying is I can come in before the wedding starts, right? It's not so much what time I get there for those type of things. It's if I show up, so like if a graduation, like there's like 52 people doing their speeches, doing their commitments exercise, but I'm there to go see that one student or that one individual graduate, walk across the stage. Not 215 people. Like I'm not there for them. I'm there for that one person. So when I go, I'm going to make sure that I'm there for them when they walk across the stage, when their name gets announced, not to sit and to listen to all the speeches. Now, if it's somebody that's making the speech, well, I'm gonna be there for that speech. And so when I value people's time, that's kind of what I'm referring to is like, I'm going to be there for what's going on in your life if I can make it, but don't expect me to be there 2 hours before, 2 hours after. Like, I can't do that. And let me rephrase that. I won't do that.
Yeah.
And so
because your time
my time is valuable. Exactly. I value my time. And so if I'm going to give you 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, I expect you to value my time that I'm giving you. It may sound big-headed or however you want to, full of myself or however you want to take that. But I think that I've learned to value my time. So for me, like people say, hey, what do you have going on? I'm like, well, I don't know. Let me check my calendar. Let me check my wife and check my kids. Like I have a list of priorities, people that are priority in my life that I'm going to check with. So. And it's funny because like I've had people say like, well, you're going to the movies. I'm like, you're exactly right. I chose to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to the movies. That's my time. So this is how I want to use it. Or, I'm going to go do this or I'm going to do that, and people are like, well, you're just so busy. I don't like to consider myself busy. I like to consider myself active, because you can be busy all day. I mean, we walk into a room and you're like, boy, that is busy. You see clothes and you're like, that's busy, and they're not doing anything. You're just busy.
Yeah.
Right. Pictures are busy. Photography is busy. And so when you look at your time and how it looks, I think if you can understand and appreciate your time, then you begin to appreciate everybody else's time, So, don't expect for, kind of you talked about, don't expect to ask a question. It's a 30-minute answer and it's a 2-second question, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a lot of things that we have to consider. I think the biggest aspect of appreciating people's time or valuing it is consideration. Like, you have to consider everything that they have going on in their life, and so I always tell our staff at the church and people that are helping us serve, our volunteers that help us at the church and serve, I know that they've got kids, they've got a job, I understand that, I understand the life aspect of what's going on. Our kids are grown, so we don't necessarily have all that,
right?
And so it's easier for us to be flexible to meet their needs and respect their time than it is for them to meet my needs and respect my time, So I think being very considerate and aware of the people that you're in relationship, people that you're working with, to be considerate of their time, and so you begin to value it more. We want everybody to give us their time right now, but we're not willing to give ours whenever. Like, well, I'm not going over there, I'm not doing that. Well, man, come on. It's a give and take, but at the same time, if we don't utilize those 24 hours the best that we can, then we're always fighting for time. We're scrounging for time. We're looking for time, and we can never find any time. And it's the one commodity. Time is the one commodity that you could never get back. Like, once that minute's gone, you're not going to get it back. And so that's why I think it's important for people to understand the value of time. So I always tell people, you don't get credit for showing up to work on time. Like, if you're supposed to be there, then make plans. And I think a lot of times we underestimate time. Like, my wife, she doesn't have any concept of time. Like, she has no concept of time. And I'm like, no, it's not going to be. It's not
there for 2 hours. No, you were there for 20 hours.
Yeah, it was a lot longer, or a lot shorter. But a lot of times I think the reason we don't value people's time is because we don't consider the seconds and the milliseconds and the minutes in that slotted time that we think. So we're like, well, I'll be there for 15 minutes. Yeah, but it's a 20-minute drive there, 15 minutes there, 20 minutes, and 15 minutes is never just 15 minutes.
Nope.
If you say 15 minutes in my head, I'm already thinking 30. This is what it's going to take, because I know it's going to take longer. If you literally just started clicking seconds and how long it was and started shutting people off, you would get a real clue of what time looks like and what it's not. And I think a lot of times that's how we live our lives, and so we're always in a hurry because we really don't have a concept of how long things are going to take us.
Yeah,
we're not thinking of that. I got plenty of time, and you really don't.
Yeah,
or you think, or I'm out of time, and you got a lot more time than you think you do.
Well, and we have those people that are early and those people that are late,
right?
Or those people that are on time type thing,
Yeah.
And I think it's funny because you always said, valuing people's time. If you valued my time, you wouldn't waste my time.
Exactly.
And the other thing on time is that if you value people's time, when you value people's time, you always consider them first. It took me many a years, and this is just being transparent. I couldn't think of the word, but being transparent is, I never asked you, what would you like to do, and never preferred you until.
I didn't say that. She said that.
Yeah, I did. I'm putting myself on blast. I didn't prefer you for a long time, and I would just do those things and just go out and do them and, run. And now I'm like, honey, what would you like to do? Because I know if I'm going to value your time is one of your love languages, by the way. I know you don't think that, but spending time with you is really important to you. It's one of your love languages. And so if I'm going to
no, go ahead.
If I'm going to spend time with you, then I need to make sure that we're doing something you want to do. And I always try, when we're together, I only get on my phone if you're on your phone. If you're not on your phone, I put my phone aside, because I know that spending time with you is valuable to you. That is
Doing nothing.
Doing nothing, yeah, just hanging out. And it's so funny because, I mean, I didn't used to be like that. And now I value your time so much that I want to put you first and say, okay, what would you like to do? And I hate it because now he's like, well, where do you want to eat? No. Where do you want to eat?
I just know what I don't want to eat.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I should just ask you that every day. But I would say also valuing people's time is not taking up their time. Their time is precious. And you always said that as a youth pastor, Yoda always said, time is the new money.
Yes.
Time is, and I love that movie Out of Time, or what's it called?
I think that's right.
Out of Time, with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like him. Is that his name?
I think so. Yeah.
I could be wrong.
It's a newer movie? Older movie?
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
it's not vintage.
It is one of my favorite movies, though, because it talks about time.
Yeah.
And it just talks about, they're trying to get everything done, and everything that they do, they go and they work, and they're trying to get time. They're trying to buy time, because time is a commodity. Time is the new money. And so if you're wasting my time, you're wasting money. And
I think
I need to preface this.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying you're wasting my time if you want to hang out with me and you want to call me and you want to talk to me and you want to do all that. But he's right. If we don't plan our day will plan us. And if I have a free day, well, I'm going to give you all my time, whether it was wasteful or not, because I don't see hanging out with somebody as wasteful. I don't see us talking to somebody as wasteful.
Yeah.
I'm either going to add to them or
get something.
Yeah, or learn something new. So I don't see that as at all wasteful. So don't be trying to twist my words and say that, you hanging out with me is wasteful. You said that, Pastor Mia. No.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that we have a lack of understanding or a concept of is like when you get hired for a job, like they'll say, okay, we're going to pay you $10 an hour. Mm-hmm. So that's $10 for that hour. But when someone asks us for help or volunteer for something, or somebody needs some of our time, we won't give it to them. Or if we want somebody else's time, we don't look at them at $10 an hour. We look at them like $3 an hour.
Ooh.
And so that's where the value comes in. So, for me, just where I've been in my life and things that I've been involved with, my time has been worth up to like $1,200, $1,300, $1,500 for an hour. You're like, wow, how are you doing that? Well, like, when you're traveling and speaking and you get an offering, or you get compensated for time, and they're giving you, $1,000, $800, $400, whatever that looks like, then that's what that's the value. That's how they honor you. They honor you with that value. And I think a lot of times what we do is we're making $10 an hour, and we're okay with the company saying that we're worth $10 an hour. And we're okay with the company saying that our friends or relatives are worth $10 an hour. But when they come and talk to us, we're only giving them $2.50 value. We're only giving them a little bit of value. Or a lot of times we'll want people to value our time, and we're only worth $10, and we want $45 worth of value. We want them to get, in other words, we place our value. Well, I'm worth $50 an hour, and I'm
bro,
like,
you're not.
You're not really. You're more worth like $20 an hour, $15 an hour, $2 an hour. Like, and so it's because we don't understand the value of time, we misplace it a lot of times, And so I dare to say that if whatever you're making hourly at your job, that's how you should treat everybody else. Mm-hmm. Like if you're making $10 an hour, $12 an hour, $15 an hour, then you should treat everybody else that they're making the exact same that you are, or even more than you are, because that begins to share the value. So then what happens is you're not late to meetings, you're not late to events, and if you are, you're looking at where you're at and what you're doing. And so that was I'm probably in trouble with everybody now.
Probably, but I think if you're late,
Everybody's mad at me.
to meetings with people, then you don't value their time.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Their time is really expensive to them.
Yeah.
Because you only have so many minutes in a day, or so many hours, or so many days in the week, or whatever. And I think if you're late and you're not on time, then you don't value them at all. And what kind of relationship is that?
Yeah, you don't value them. You don't value what you're going for. The reason you're going to be there.
Then you feel entitled. Well, I ain't got to.
Yeah.
And
to me, this is kind of wrap up with this, but to me, if someone invites you to something, they're telling you that
you're valuable.
You're
They
valuable,
value you.
and that you're valuable, and they value your time.
Yeah.
So they're asking you to give. Can you give me 10 minutes? Can you give me 5 minutes?
Yeah. Can you come to this event? It's not because they wanted a present.
Well, maybe. Kind of.
Sometimes, but not always. They value you, and people
Bring
place
a good
values.
Gift. Bring a good gift.
People place values on relationships.
You gotta hurry up because I'm almost out of water.
on this, on relationships, I would say that's where the value of people come on. And if you're saying, "Well, I don't have any time to give," well, then you need to go sow some time. That means you need to hang out with somebody. You need to pour into somebody. You need to value others' time. And if you're not getting any time in your day, it's because you're not sowing any time.
Yep. And if you got a lot of time, you probably should give some time.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people don't, it sounds bad, but sometimes they don't do anything with their time. Like literally don't do anything with their time.
No shots fired just because I like to watch TV.
No, you don't. I mean, you're pretty active. Like you're real active, but I'm just saying, some people, they don't do anything.
Anyway, I hope that everybody understands that people's time is very valuable. And if they don't look at people as valuable, you're not going to look at their time as valuable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And hope we didn't waste your time.
We'll be here all week.
All week and every day on YouTube.
Yeah.
iTunes, SoundCloud, and where else?
I
don't know.
IGTV?
IGTV. We're going to be, we're everywhere.
Okay.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll holler at you guys next Wednesday. Like, subscribe, all that cool stuff that everybody repeats on their videos.
Hit like and subscribe.
We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Peace.
I'm the bomb and about to blow up. I'm the bomb and I'm about to blow up.
Thank you for listening to the Riverside Weekly. Download the Riverside Waco app to stay connected and follow us on all social media sites at the Riverside Waco. This podcast is made possible by the givers of Riverside Community Church. Production and engineering provided by Capital G and DRS in Waco, Texas.